Hey guys, what's up? It's Jaime here. Okay, so for today's Fangirl Fridays, which actually, first off, it's been a minute since I've done a Fangirl Fridays, just because I've been like busy with like school and work and whatnot. But we're coming back with Fangirl Fridays this week, and today's Fangirl Fridays is all about what music I'm listening to right now, because even I know this is gonna sound really weird, but I feel like become like an avid music listener until like about 2 years ago. Like I would listen to songs like when they came on the radio, but it was very rare that I ever actually like sought out music to listen to prior to the pandemic. Which again, I know sounds really weird considering the fact that I've done like so many covers like on my channel and the fact that I like singing so much. But yeah, the way I kind of like put it to my boyfriend one time where I was like, I really enjoy singing, but I wasn't really like a music lover. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense any kind of sense at all. But that's how it was. But recently I've been kind of like broadening my music taste and stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm currently listening to, and yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title of this video, the first song, well, this is like a particular song. I'm pretty much gonna be telling you guys about artists I'm listening to, but this is a particular song that I've been listening to like non-stop, and it is the Ballad of Sara Berry from 35mm. It's just, I recently, because there's this one cover artist that I really love on YouTube. Her name is Anna Pantsu. I'll have her channel linked in the description so you can go check her out if you haven't heard her already, which you might have because I remember her, I think it was her Prince Ali cover that went really viral on TikTok. So you might have heard of her, or like you might have heard her and you might not even have realized it. But Anna is so talented. She's a phenomenal singer. So I first came across the Ballad of Sara Berry through her cover of it, and personally I actually like her cover better than the original, which I like the original too because the original sung by Lindsay Mendez, and I love Lindsay Mendez. If you don't know, she was in the musical Dogfight, which is like one of my favorite musicals of all time. But personally, I just happen to like Anna's cover a little bit better. So that's why this one I'm talking about right now is so good. I love it's got all my favorite things about musical theater. Like um it's got a little bit of murder, a little murderous prom queen, and a character descending into madness. Like it's got all my favorite things. I know, like saying that out loud now that I sound like really fucked up. But I mean, like I am a little fucked up, so. But also that's just kind of like, I don't know. There's a lot of murder in musical theater. It's just kind of something you come to expect. But yeah, so if you have not listened to the Ballad of Sara Berry, it's just I love, particularly really recommend watching Anna's video because it has like an animatic of which I think helps to like really sell the song of the Ballad of Sara Berry. So I highly, 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 highly recommend it. But even when I can't like be like watching the video, like I'll be listening to it. Like her, I listen to her cover like just me walking to get food when I'm at school, or just like just living my everyday life. But yeah, I really love that song and I very much so recommend it. Okay, so next, another well, this is an album that I've been listening to so much recently. Okay, so just so we're like on the same page, I've never watched Bridgerton, and I probably never will. I'm not really like that interested in actually watching the actual show, Bridgerton. But obviously, like I know what it is. I know that it's like super super huge. I know lots of people love it. However, I love the unofficial Bridgerton musical that was created by Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear. It is just, I love it. It is like my favorite thing, like one of my favorite things to listen to right now. So I've been listening to that album like non-stop. My particular favorite songs, it's hard to narrow them down, but I'd say my particular like favorite songs off of the album are Penelope Featherington, if I was a man, Fool for You, and then Alone Together, Burn for You, and Every Inch. I also really love Balancing the Scales though. I really just like a lot of this. I like pretty much like all the songs on the album. I just think it's really great. And it's just really fun because again, like I don't watch Bridgerton, like, and I probably maybe I will just because like I like the the musical so much. But I mean, we'll see. But I highly recommend it. But also speaking of the unofficial Bridgerton musical, Abigail Barlow, who is one of the co-creators of this musical, she is also has like her own like music career. I believe her and Emily both do. I've listened to Abigail more than Emily just because I haven't gotten around to listening to like a lot of Emily's stuff. Except I love Emily's song "You Suck." It's it's a really great song. Highly recommend that. But I've been listening to like all of like Abigail's songs recently. I think that she's really I think she's a really underrated like pop artist. Like I love her songs. Let's see. I think my favorites. I really love Heartbreak Hotel. Um, Future X is also a good one. I also really like. Oh my gosh, what is it? Canceled. Canceled. That's my favorite one. I couldn't believe like I almost forgot the name of that one. That's a really good one. So highly recommend. Um, the unofficial Bridgerton musical, even if you haven't watched Bridgerton, because I have not watched a single episode of Bridgerton. I barely even know who some of the characters are. And I also recommend checking out Abigail Barlow's music. And I'm going to be listening to like more of like Emily's stuff. So I will report back to you when I have and like which songs of hers that I really like. But again, You Suck by Emily Bear is really good. Okay, so next, you might have been able to guess this if you watched my Fangirl Fridays video where I talked about Encanto and Arcane and and my amiibo cards. I was trying to remember because I knew that I talked about a few things in that video, so I was trying to remember all of them. But I've been listening to the Encanto soundtrack like just ever since I watched the movie. It's just so fantastic. It's so beautiful. I fucking love the Encanto soundtrack. And also, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I guess I should just because I did kind of like mention Arcane just now. Enemy, like particularly the rendition of that's used for Arcane, chef's kiss, just excellent. But back to Encanto. But yeah, I just been listening to Encanto nonstop. I really like to particularly listen to Encanto when I'm like cleaning or doing laundry. I don't know why, but that's like just I don't know. I think just because I don't really like folding laundry. It's not my favorite chore to do. So when I'm listening to Encanto, it kind of helps like hype me up. So when I'm folding my laundry, that wasn't really important to include, but I thought I'd bring it up. But yeah, I think also what I mentioned in that last Fangirl Fridays video is We Don't Talk About Bruno is definitely my favorite. I know it's like, obviously it's like the most popular one, but it's the most popular for a reason. I feel like We Don't Talk About Bruno is just really awesome. We Don't Talk About Bruno is like very much, and I mean it makes sense because obviously like Lin-Manuel Miranda was like behind it. Very much gives me like nonstop from Hamilton vibes, because like you're like trying to like sing all the different parts at once and it's just gonna make your brain explode, but like in a good way, in like a really good way. And nonstop just happens to be like my like one of my favorite songs from Hamilton. I think that's probably why I like We Don't Talk About Bruno so much. But yeah, so that's another album that I've been like really loving as of late. Okay, so I could not do a what I'm currently listening to video without bringing up the one and only Taylor Swift, because I love Taylor Swift. I listen to her music like almost like religiously because I I'm a very very big fan. I would definitely say that she's like my favorite artist of like all time. I love her music. Currently, I'm listening to her Fearless album. That's the one I've been currently listening to a lot. I go through kind of like phases of like which album I'm like really listening to. My favorite, but I will say that my favorite, my top three favorite Taylor Swift albums are Folklore, Lover, and Evermore. But I love all of her music. So um, I kind of like go through like rotations and phases of just like which of her albums that I'm like listening to currently. And yeah, and I really do love Fearless a lot because Fearless makes me very nostalgic because Fearless was like this like the songs on Fearless were like some of the first Taylor Swift songs I was ever exposed to as a youth as a child. So like obviously like like You Belong With Me and Love Story are like classics from my childhood. So I really enjoy listening to Fearless because it makes me feel like super super nostalgic. Okay, so next I'm gonna be talking about Tate McRae. I really really love Tate McRae songs. Oh, her song Chaotic that just dropped today, didn't it? Amazing, fantastic. I love like all of her songs. They're so good. I love her style of songwriting. It's very like raw and real, and like I don't write songs. Like I love singing. I like music. I do not write songs, even though I am like a writer. I write like I've talked a lot about like I do screenwriting. I do not write songs, which my boyfriend thought was surprising, but I don't really think so because I remember one time when I was like a child, I was like, I'm gonna be a songwriter, and yeah, that didn't happen because I cannot write songs to save my life. But I really really love Tate's songwriting. Hers and like Taylor Swift's are like some of my favorite like lyrics. But yeah, so Chaotic that just dropped today. Awesome. Fantastic. I also really love She's All I Wanna Be and Feel Like Shit. I also really really love I always forget because sometimes it's shortened, but then sometimes it isn't. I think it's just called That Way. But I always want to call it Friends. Don't Look at Friends That Way. You know what song I'm talking about though. Like everybody uses it in like their fandom edits and stuff. That was how like I found her. It was I don't even remember from which fandom because sometimes just like random like fandom edits will come up in like my Instagram feed, even from like fandoms that I'm not a part of. But I remember that song was used in like an edit, and I was like, oh, that is a great song. And so I looked it up, and then I found Tate, and then I just listened to all her music. I'm like, oh, she's so talented. We're also like, I think she's like a year or two younger than me. We're like the same age. I'm just like, man, imagine being that talented already. Like it can never be me. But yeah, she's great. I really really enjoy her music. Go stream Chaotic because it just came out. It's really good. Okay, last but certainly not least, I've actually been listening to quite a bit of Alessia Cara, which was a little surprising to me because I obviously like I've heard like her songs that were like really big like on the radio, like Stay and Here and Scars to Your Beautiful, like and those are really good songs. I really like them. But I never like really like listened to like any of like her other songs until I just kind of like I on a whim I was just like I'm gonna listen to some Alessia Cara because why not. And I like she's so talented. Like I mean I already knew she has an amazing voice, but like she's just like super incredible. I love her voice. I like forgot like how much I like really really love her voice. I would say of the songs that I've like listened to recently, my favorites of hers are, sorry, I have them here on Spotify because I knew I was gonna forget. Find My Boy and Drama Queen are definitely, I also really like Somebody Else. Those are really good, but definitely like Find My Boy, I think is like my favorite one of her songs. It's just really, really good. I feel like not enough people talk about Alessia Cara, but maybe that's just me. But I think she's really, really fucking talented, and I really, again, I think her songs are really, really good. I always think it's really interesting because like I feel like obviously you always have like certain artists, like the songs that get like really, really big and like blow up like on the radio and like stuff. But I feel like often sometimes like you find like a lot of like hidden gems if like that aren't the ones that like get really popular on the radio, but like if you listen to like the whole like album or like EP or whatever it is, that's like when you find like some of their best songs. And that's definitely how I felt like listening to like going through her I always struggle with this word, discography. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so Find My Boy, really good. But again, also Somebody Else and Drama Queen, also very good songs. And honestly, lots of her songs are just really, really good. Okay, that is all for this Fangirl Fridays video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know down below like who you're listening to right now, what albums you're listening to, because again, I'm really trying to like broaden my music taste, because I wasn't really somebody who did that until recently. But yeah, like, just what are your favorite songs right now? Let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.